Hi, Ashleigh.
Hello, darling. How are you?
We're good. Episode 4. So at the start of every episode, I do a product spotlight.
All right, okay.
And this is very handy, what just got handed to me.
Oh!
So, Ashleigh, who we'll get into what she does and everything like that, but she's just handed me a product for, like, as a gift. And I'm like, this needs to be the product spotlight of the episode. So do you want to tell everybody what it is?
It is the Pamper Glow Tanning Water, guys. It is a very hydrating, natural spritz for your face.
Yeah. Basically tan for your face, guys. So 100% I'll be...
It's slightly scented with coconut. So you need a wee tiny bit of scent. I mean, I love a coconut scent. It's that gives you that wee holiday vibe, doesn't it?
Oh, it does. I love it. I'll be using that because I was literally just thinking I need a tan for my face because I'm pure cyclamine pale.
Yeah.
And like I've tanned for today because I was...
It doesn't clog your pores, see, because it's a nice wee spritz. I quite
like a wee spritz. So when do you put it on? Just like...
I put it on at night time. And then it's a wee gradual one. So see, the next morning, sometimes I'm like, oh, I like to be a bit tangle-mangled at times.
Me too, hon.
So the next morning, I'll be like, right, I'll get another wee spray. So I'll spray during the day under my makeup because it actually sits quite nice as a wee primer as well, by the way.
Nice.
Yes, I've noticed that. I didn't know that was going to be a thing, but I don't know if it's the aloe vera content in it because that's quite a nice wee pore minimiser as well.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Amazing.
Yes. So just build it up so you could spray it again that night or... So I usually do three nights in a row, possibly a wee day or two, and I've got a nice wee colour.
And you don't need to rub it in, you just spray?
Yeah, it's a nice...
And it's even? Oh, guys, get in touch with her, but we'll get into it in a sec. So, episode 4 of season 3. Woo!
Yay!
So, I have Ashleigh of the Pamper Pods with me today.
Hello.
I feel like we should start the podcast with our random serendipitous moment of how we met because it was so random, but so manifestation.
That was mental that day.
Yeah.
I was in such a high when I left. I was pure, thank you, universe. I've been wanting this all my life.
Oh, gal.
Honestly, it was so weird. I did not expect you at all because Clodagh was basically just saying, I'm going to do wee social media content. I nearly never came that day, Gemma.
Aye.
Because Clodagh never get back to me to that morning.
Aye.
So I was like, what was it she said? We were texting back and forth, but then it was that morning she got to me and I was like, right, okay, she's probably just set up a wee tripod or something and she's wanting the facials and all that. See, when you walked out, I was like, holy shit. Oh my God, Gemma. Oh my God.
You're hilarious.
And the vibe was just a way up there somewhere.
It was. But it was like, when you were talking about it, it was just so weird because, first of all, you're like, you do the Hype Club. I was like, But then when you were talking about how you wanted to do a podcast, and then you started randomly talking about these two people that were in...
Why did I even tell you that?
I don't know.
Do you know what I mean? Why, out of all people, would you even know them? Why would I connect them? Because that's the thing. I didn't need to tell you that.
No.
I was like, and then you were like, Sylvia and Drew. I was like, that was crazy.
So my good pal Sylvia and Drew that live in Campbelltown. Shout out, guys. Sylvia's miss you. Come back, move home. Miss you. Okay, so that was so random. But then we met and I was like, Nate, come on the pod. We need to chat about what you do. And I'm here for that.
We're here
for it. Right, so take me back to the beginning of your story and let's go through the journey of how you've got to the Pamper Pod now.
Right, so back in 2003. 2003, I went to college for 3 years and done my beauty, HND in beauty. And then through the years, I've just worked in loads of different salons. I've kind of tapped in and out of beauty, like in 2009, 2008 to 2010. I done hairdressing, so I worked with my cousin full-time at hairdressers. And then discovered that I was pregnant with my first wee boy. And then I discovered I can't cut hair. Like, I just cannot cut hair, right? I was like... my cousin, she was such a good... Like, she trains people up and all that now in her salon in Paisley, right? So she was also... I learned so much in the salon, right? But I was like, Sarah, I cannot fucking cut hair. I could colour it. I learned all that. Right. I loved curling and styling hair and all that. I could not cut hair, and it just wasn't happening. I was like, I can't do this. So an opportunity then came up for me to rent a room. And I was pregnant at the time. I was probably 4 or 5 months pregnant with my first wee boy. So I was a bit scared. I was like, oh my God, I don't know what to do here, blah, blah, blah. Because I felt because it was my cousin I worked for as well, I thought, I don't want to really waste her time here. I'm pure like, this isn't working out, but I loved working with her.
Aye.
So I went and rented a room to the shop, and she was really encouraging. She was like, oh, this is what you do, blah, blah, blah. So I rented a wee room in the shop right next door for her, practically. And I was self-employed then as well. And then I've had Logan in 2010, had Lucas in 2013. And then in between all that, different salon jobs, COVID hit. But I did have my wee girl in 2019. So she was just before COVID. When I was due to go back after my maternity leave, I went back one Saturday and we were in lockdown after that. So to me, it was a wee extended maternity leave. It was quite good. But when I realised that the salon I was in wasn't opening back up properly, I was just like, I need to earn money. Like, the furlough system and all that, that wasn't working out. I don't know. So I was like, I actually need to earn money. So I ended up getting a job in a high school cleaning. Random, right? And it was just something that I thought, I don't know when beauty salons are going to open up next. I don't know when I'm going to be able to go to my clients' houses because I've done mobile a lot as well. So I've accumulated loads of clients over the years. And then I thought, I'm actually not going to get to people's houses either, like to even make any money. So I took on a cleaning job and I'd done that for about 2 years, probably just between the 2020 time, 2022, I think I left there. And but that, for me, it was at 4:30 in the morning.
What?
4:30 in the morning. I didn't originally sign up for the hours. I was signed up for the back shift, but due to childcare issues, I just ended up doing... I was like, I don't know what to do here. 4:30 to 7:30 in the morning. Sometimes I'd done the 5 o'clock to 8 o'clock shift if I wanted to be extra half an hour in my bed. I couldn't. I'm a morning person, but
that's
knowing your alarms 03:45, I'm not that type of person.
That's during the nest, like getting up for a holiday and going on a plane. Go to work.
It was only 3 hours, so I felt bad about complaining about it because I got to go home. And when my kids did eventually go back to school and all that, I was there for them, or I was there when they were still in lockdown and whatever. So it worked out for me, but that's kind of where I discovered the power of podcasts.
Right, okay.
Every morning, Monday to Friday, for at least 2.5 hours, I tuned into different podcasts. And I just felt like I'd done a lot of healing, a lot of self-development myself. So although it was a wee cleaning job, it was actually, and the girls that I worked with, all the women were amazing. They're all still there. And I keep in touch with them and stuff. But I was just like, But I'd done a lot of podcasting in the morning. And I was just like, there is more to life than this. Like, why am I cleaning a PE department with shit up the walls and piss everywhere? Like, why is this my life? Like, honest to God, I was seriously, like, questioning my life. Like, what the fuck am I doing here, right? And as much as I didn't want to disrespect anybody, because I was like, a job's a job at the end of the day. And I'm very grateful for that. But I was just like, you would go in, and it was the PE department I was put in at one point.
Bogging.
Oh my God. Like, it was vile. Just fucking vile.
Oh, how is it so dirty? What the hell?
I know, like, and then...
Bogging boys?
Yeah. The girls sometimes.
Eh?
I can't even say things on this. It was just, vile beyond your wildest imagination, darling. So yeah, I did question my life. I was like, is this my fucking life right now?
So did you have a moment when you were like shutting them up down, like, no, I can't do this anymore?
I did. I actually did. I was crying and everything.
Were you?
I never slept that well that night. But bearing in mind, see, at this point, my wee girl's only 1. I'm going home to a baby, practically, right? I need to wait till she goes to her 11 o'clock in the morning nap. I'm not going home to my bed, darling. So I was actually like fucked for 2 years. And I did feel it. See, at the 2 year point, it was really weighing on me. I thought, I'm constantly tired. I felt like I aged about 10 years. My bag's everything. I was like, I don't look like I used to look. I don't look fresh anymore. I don't feel I look. And I thought, I look fucking knackered all the time. And then my husband was like that to me. Like, what do you want to do? Do you want to get a job in the hospital or something? Because I was adamant I wasn't going to work for anybody else in a salon. And I was like, I'll look at salons. But then because of the whole COVID thing, the rates were through the roof. And I just thought, I can't actually justify that. And everywhere I was looking, I'm like, I've got clients full all over. I can't actually expect them to want to travel or whatever. So, and a hairdresser I know ended up opening up in her house. And it just kind of, it planted a wee seed, right? And I was like, how amazing was that? Because I go to her for my hair, my curls and stuff like that. So I was like, it really did plant a seed, right? So I was like, oh my God. But then I thought, I need a job. I was just on the job mode. So I got a job in the Accord Hospice for a wee while.
Right. That's how you met Sylvia.
Yeah, that's how I met the lovely wee Sylvia. And so it was right at the end of my street. It was like the job offer was like 2 12-hour shifts. They actually told me I didn't get the job. And then I got an email saying, listen, we've made a job for you. Would you want to come? And I was like,
wow.
I know, it was amazing. They were just like, we really want you to come and work. Because I'd not had any healthcare experience at all. But they're like that, no, well, we can train you up and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I was like, and I always remember one of the questions they asked, like, what do you feel you can bring to this? And I was just like, well, I feel like I'm quite a happy, positive person. And someone, if they're on their deathbed, I want them to be like, I don't know what to say, I'm going to send them off and be happy or whatever, right? But I was like, I feel like I can give them that final comforting that they might need. Yes. Yeah. Like, and I was singing to them and I was dancing in their rooms and it was amazing. Honestly, I loved that job. But again, I'm a bit of an empath.
Yeah.
And I just felt, see, when you go, I think one of my first weeks in there was a girl in there a year older than me.
Oh my God.
And it was at the November, December time, so it was before Christmas. Our wee boy was in decorating the Christmas tree and she was literally like, she died like a few days later. And I just thought, oh God, what have I signed up for? It was that really weighed heavy on me. And I thought, mostly it's acceptable when you find they're older and all that. But honestly, what a rewarding job. So, and see the nurses, see the work that they do in there, it's unlike any other, I don't know, a palliative care nurse they're just special. Yeah. There's something just about them. And
they've got so much strength as well, I think, to be able to deal with.
It's the resilience, it's the emotional resilience. I was like, I thought I was quite resilient because I'd just been spending 2 years in a job doing my podcast and I'm doing inner child healing work. I'm doing it all. I'm thinking, right, I'm healed. And then I went into this and I was like, fuck. Honestly, I was like, what have I done? But I learned so much. The longer I was there, it did get better and more accepting and stuff like that. But I think in the background in my wee head, it was pure weighing on me. And I was like, this isn't what I'm meant to do. Like, it's not what I'm meant to do. And my husband then says to me, he's like, what about your wee idea? And I was like, I know, I says, we'll just convert that shed out there. And he's like, darling, you're going to do it. We need to do it right. And I was like, right, well, I don't know. Like, so I started drawing and he started drawing. And I was like, what are we going to do? And so I've got a wee shed out the back already, but that's fully like just your usual garden stuff and all that. And I was standing in it and I was like, this isn't big enough. Like, I need a nail bar there. I need this. I just had it all mapped out, measured out and everything. And then Colin says to me, he's like, we're going to need to just put it over where the decking is. And that's kind of where most of our garden is. And I thought, I don't want to take a lot of garden space away. But it ended up, that's what we had to do. And I drew it all up and I went over to my wee neighbour in the back. He's a joiner. He just finished his extension. And I was like, do you want another wee project, darling? You're getting married next year. Do you want a job? Do you want a wee job? And I says, look, say no, obviously, if you don't want it. But he was like, Right, okay. And then I just basically showed him what I wanted, and he drew up stuff, and then he was like, I think we can do that, do this. And I'd spent ages online looking for stuff, like, am I better buying it flat packed, or am I better just buying materials? But yeah, that was kind of how the Pamper Pod started, darling. So I was still working in the hospice at the time.
Yeah.
And I thought I'll probably just stay on their bank system and do wee shifts and stuff with them, but I've not really had to do it, to be honest. So
No, because you've
it took
built
off
up
really
your...
well. It really did.
And then did you start from the beginning in terms of clients, or did you talk to all your previous ones?
I had quite a good few, because I thought I worked out what I was already kind of bringing in mobile-wise, and then I thought, right, that's okay, like that will do. But I never anticipated how many new clients I would have got. Like, I thought it'd all be my regulars and that would be it. But see, like in the first 2 weeks, it was just like, it was people I'd known for years that were on Facebook and stuff, and they'd be like, oh, Ashleigh, oh, can I just come to you? I'll come to you for like a massage. Because I wouldn't go to people's houses and do massages on them. It was just basically their nails or their waxing or wee brows and stuff like that. And then, yeah, it just kind of took off.
It just grew.
Yeah.
And so, like, when you first qualified doing beauty back in the day, back then it was very much a case of you did everything, but everything. And have you carried that forward into that, or do you specialise?
That's the thing, right? See when people ask me, what do you do? I go, everything. Apart from the nail extensions, I don't really do. And they go, oh, do you? And then it's very rare now, because I think people just go and do wee courses, but when you do your HND, you do everything. And I feel I kind of more specialise in massages. I love them. I love doing them. And when my clients come to me for a massage, I don't just give them a massage. It's like, I'll explain to them the benefits. I'll find out what's wrong with them. I'll determine like what they actually need. I basically tailor my massage techniques to them, basically. So I says, I don't actually do the same massage twice. So I feel like I just adapt myself. But I always explain the benefits, explain all the muscle groups I'm working on. And if they say, I don't know why my shoulder's sore or whatever, so I'll say like particular muscles and I'll just explain to them. And I'll tell them the psychological benefits of a massage. It's so powerful.
Tell me them right now.
So massage, basically, people just think it's a wee relaxing rub, right? It's really not. It is really not a relaxing rub. So psychologically, right, we'll get right into it, right?
Get into it.
So when somebody touches you, when somebody touches you, like for more than like, they say it's like 20 odd seconds, immediately you can feel comforted. So your brain releases some oxytocin, which is the love hormone, but it's a comforting feeling, it's a safe feeling. So when you produce that, you feel like your dopamine levels do go up as well. So you produce more dopamine and it's just a nice, happy feeling. So that's what relaxes you and it calms and soothes all your nerve endings. So when you feel that, you're going to start feeling good and you're going to just start being nice and relaxed and stuff. And I don't know. Anyway, my clients love it, right? After you tell them, I was like, so this is what we're doing. And then physically, obviously, I tell them that, so I'm just going to do this, heat up the area. Your blood circulation, your circulatory system is now stimulated. Therefore, your lymphatic system stimulated. I pure go into like they get a full-blown biology lesson off me, right? But then I do reassure them and I say, listen, see when you come the next time, I'll let you zone out. Don't worry, I don't always talk to you. I just let you relax. I just like, But that's what my clients actually love about it, because it's like, oh, I didn't know that. No one's ever told me that before. And I'm just like, well, I think you need to know.
Yeah.
I think you need to know these things.
No,
I think if you know exactly what it's doing for you, you know why you need it. And 9 times out of 10, they'll always put back in.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
And that kind of, when you're touching on like the shoulder and the sore shoulder, that kind of leads into, I looked on your Instagram, so I know that you are doing it now, but when we met, you were going to train in the acupuncture.
Yes, darling. So how's
that going?
Still pending, darling. I've got a wee one online module to finish on that, and I'll be probably up and running by pro time.
Amazing.
So, but my husband, he's getting used to that pin cushion right now.
Right now?
Right now.
Wow.
I'm like, right, darling, I need to get your leg out, get your foot out right now.
Oh my God, he's so nice to you.
He was just lying there on the bed and he's like, what is this supposed to be doing? I was like, just zone in. What are you feeling? And he's just like, nothing.
So is acupuncture for pain or is it for other reasons?
It blew my mind,
Really?
Gemma, right? I actually thought I bit off more than I could chew, right? Because I feel like with my capacity, right? I've got 3 kids. I work full time. I'm running a business and everything else. I was like, I've been looking at into it since, was it last February they done it in Kilmarnock, right? And I thought I'll wait till they do a Glasgow one. And the next Glasgow one wasn't till this May. So I was still looking into it in January there, but I'd been looking into it for way back last year and I thought, will I know? And then in January there I thought, just book it, it's fine.
Aye.
And then I'd done the taster course online and I was like, it went into all the traditional Chinese medicine, like all the background there. And I was like, I don't think my wee brain's got this capacity. I think I had to do like 10 hours before the actual 2-day course, right? So it was quite intense. And I was like that, I actually don't know like how I'm going to fit all this in. So it went into all the traditional Chinese medicine and how it linked us to like the 5 elements of fire, air, water.
What?
Yeah, I still can't get my head around it. But then, so if somebody came to you with a problem, right? Say they were quite like aggressive or something, like not aggressive, like
Aye,
but coming in and being like, oh, I just feel very angry all the time, or I'm this or I'm that. See, when they had certain things wrong with them, you were like able to identify that they were a fire element. So then you know with a fire element, you know how to treat them with, or what you can and can't do with certain acupuncture protocols. And I was like, what? Honest to God, I was like, what have I got myself into here? It was very overloading on the brain.
wow.
But it ended up, what was it we done? Like, after all that, I actually messaged them and I was like, look, I don't know if I'm going to complete this online, like, before the 2-day course. Like, is this going to, like, be a problem? Or, and they says, no, you need to just do this, make sure you've done these.
Yep.
And that's it. So that was fine. So I went and done the 2-day course. Oh, my God. It was nothing like that. I'm a very practical learner.
Aye.
I think that's probably part of it as well. But the morning of the course, I took my period.
Okay.
No, I don't know, right? Ever since I've had kids, right, I'm like that. I cannot afford to have my vision clouded today. Like, I need to think straight.
To focus on the fire and the ice, right? I can't be
I'm like, I am on
distracted.
fire today. So I was like, oh, for fuck it, why? So I ended up, I thought, I don't know about you, but I need paracetamol and ibuprofen every 4 hours for the first 2
And a
days,
bar of
right?
chocolate.
Aye. I forgot my paracetamol and ibuprofen, didn't I?
Right, bro. Good start.
So I was like, what am I going to do? Like, what am I going to do? So I ended up, went to the course, just got on with it. A lot of theory in the morning, come the afternoon. What was one of the protocols, Gemma?
Oh, I don't know. What was one of the protocols?
Period pain.
No
That was like the third one we were learning. And I was like, I will be your volunteer, please. I don't care where you stick them, just stick them. Honestly, I was like, is somebody just answering me? Like, what is going on here?
Here, I think you, like, magnet, like, manifestation. Like,
well, I've been
it's
doing a lot of
weird.
manifesting, darling. A
Yeah.
lot of powerful manifesting masterclasses and all this, right? But I don't know. I think it's what to do with your energy levels
Yeah.
as well. And like just kind of removing and unblocking yourself. Very powerful as well. But I don't know, right? But anyway, she done it on me, and see when she done it, she's like, right, I'll leave it on you. And then my wee partner that I'd paired up with, she done it on the other leg and she left it. And usually you leave them about 20 minutes or something like that. And I'm not kidding. I'm not even, because I'd be still in pain. But within an hour, the pain had totally diminished. Like, because not in that way when pain diminishes, it's kind of like you don't notice it until maybe somebody's brought your attention to it.
Yeah.
So I was actually like that to my tutor. Like, I actually don't have any pain. I've been so uncomfortable all day today.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, oh, maybe we've just nipped it in the bud then or whatever. But I was like, that's blowing my mind. Like that, and she says, you'll go home and have a great sleep tonight. And I was like, really? Because I don't sleep well. Like, see when your wee hormones are all over the place, I don't sleep that well. But,
so then when she did the acupuncture for the cramps, was that just that one time, or would that have nipped it in the bud for like next month, the next month, the next month? Or do you need to get it every time?
I feel, so what we learned was the average kind of treatment course to give or recommend to a client is 4. So depending on what's actually wrong with them, it's usually 4 treatments, and you kind of need to get them in within like maybe once every fortnight, once a week, or something like quite close and intense together. Most of my clients are monthly, so I would probably say to them, just come in every 2 to 3 weeks or something like that. But again, it just depends what's wrong with them or what's going on.
What other things would you get the acupuncture for? What did they suggest it for?
So the protocols that I learned, because there's so many different levels of acupuncture. So what I learned in the entry level was it 8 protocols? And it was like bloating, lethargy, brain fog, immunoboosting, relaxation.
And they would all be like separate, or like if you come in with like bloating and brain fog, like you could jag in the same.
So what I would do is in their consultation, I would then be like, well, what is the cause of the bloating? What is, like, you would just kind of, because their bloating and brain fog might actually be related to some sort of like hormone imbalance, which then there's actually a protocol that I also learned for irregular periods, and that just screams out hormone imbalance anyway. So I would probably do something like that. So you would really like dive deep when it came to like their consultation, and you would just probably, because you wouldn't just do a crossover, because I think one of the girls actually asked that, because we're like, what happens if one had that and one had the other? Could you do, instead of doing 4, say they were on the leg, could you maybe just add in a wee hand, and that might cover, because one of the points in your hand and your foot actually covers everything for full body pain. It's called the 4 gates. Google it. Quite good. But it's good to teach people this as well, because see, like, if you're just putting pressure on your hand, like a lot of people seeing all the points, see when you're finding the points, when the tutor was telling you where they are and all that, you were always doing that to your partner, and see until you like really dug in, they'd be like, oh aye, that's a wee bit tender. It's always wee tender bits. But honestly, it blew my mind. I can't wait to start doing it.
That's so exciting.
And it's not something that a lot of people do in Paisley.
No.
You need to go to your physio or something like that to do it.
Yeah.
So I thought there's definitely a wee gap there with normal therapists like myself. So that's why I kind of wanted to do it. And I went to, the first time I got acupuncture was with Emma from
ESP.
So she sorted my back out. I can't even remember. It was probably about 18 months ago or something like that. I've not been here for a wee while. But I went here twice because my back went. I was carrying my wee girl over the road in the morning to the nursery. And one morning I just lifted her and I was like, So I think I totally knocked my hip out of alignment. And I can't even remember how I came across her. I think she was just always up on my Instagram or something like that. And I thought, and I just turned up and I was like, please don't tell me what you're going to do to me. I've seen all your videos. They look fab, but I don't like needles and I don't like the cracking thing and all that. So I was like, please just don't tell me what you're going to do to me. But she's done everything to me that day. And I was just like, holy fuck, that was amazing. It was, have you been here before?
It's me that does our social.
Is it? Honestly, like.
She's the best. She, like, it was a few years ago when I first met her, and I think it was actually James, my partner, he told me to go to her, like, years and years ago. And my mum, my dad, Abdi goes to her, like,
I tell all my clients to go to her.
Abdi, she's the actual best physio in the whole world.
I've never
hands down
experienced that before. See, just everything she done that. It's only like a wee short space of time. It's like half an hour you're in for or something
She
like
just
that.
looks at you and goes, "That's off."
Aye.
Like
And
my
I would
dad.
always wear leggings or something like that
Aye.
so she could see like my
Aye.
wee lumps and bumps. But she had me in the bed at one point and pure straight to me. She's like, Ashleigh, you're so stiff. And I was like, I know. But she'd be proud of me now. I go, I do yoga and everything now.
My
Like,
God, it's amazing.
so I couldn't touch my toes.
Aye.
And I was like, is that no normal? And she's like, no. I was like, but I've got long legs and I'm tall and I can't reach.
She'd give us into trouble right now for something
Yeah,
like that.
she
So
would.
she's probably,
I know, like,
sorry, gal, if you ever watching.
You're knocking yourself out of life.
No, she's the best. Everybody should go to Emma. Like, she was on my podcast last year.
Yeah.
Year 4? Last year? Can't mind. So, did you watch that one? You need to watch it. She's dead funny. She says really funny things on it.
She's hilarious. So she is.
She's the best.
I'll need to go back and see her just
You
for the
need.
banter.
If you're like 5 week wait to get an appointment or something, it's ridiculous. So with like beauty and everything that you do, is there anything that you've noticed that's like, do you do like facials and stuff like that as well?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Have you noticed like a big shift in the whole like skin is in type vibe, like facials
yes.
being
Big
the
time.
one?
And I feel like I done a lot of facial coaching training a way back in my last salon job, which was like in 2017. And even then, I learned so much. See now, like it wasn't that big, even in 2017. And I was doing all these, like, it was it skin brands? It was Priori, Medicate, like really high active ingredients, like cosmeceutical branded ones. And they were so good. You were like doing peels on people that you couldn't put the peel on for any longer than, I think it was like 20 seconds, and then you had to take it off. It was like burning. Clodagh used to use that actually. It was Clodagh I worked with, and that's how I know her. And so that was really intense training. I wish I could go back and do it. But apparently they're no more. I don't know if they've rebranded or something like that. But that was very, very good training even then. But it wasn't a big thing. Like, you only went for a facial if maybe somebody got you a voucher. Or
I know.
We were very busy with facials then, but the way it's such a big thing now, like in social media, and everybody's
it's huge
like,
now.
especially with the teenagers now, like you always got your wee, I don't know about you, but I think you were lucky to get Clearasil if you were 13.
Get rid of your spots with
I
your Clearasil. But I think it's becoming huge now.
Yeah.
Like especially like the results driven stuff and like the like pairing it with your home care and things like that. And
you definitely need to back it up at home. And that's what we always told people. What's the point in spending 75 quid on a facial once a month and you're going home using super drugs in brand? Like, if you're really wanting results, you're coming in spending. I mean, £75 was one of the cheaper ones where I worked. And I was just like, you've just spent 600 quid on a course of facials to get you through the year and you're going home using shit. Like, please don't.
Like 1 hour a month is nothing.
You're not going to get the results. I used to just say that. There's no point in you spending £600 on this course of facials if you're going home to use whatever they were using. And it wasn't really a selling thing. I hated the whole selling thing. I would just recommend things. If you want to get it, you want to get it. If you don't, you don't. Because we were selling things back then. Like, if you were paying £50 for a moisturiser back then, you were like, do you know what I mean?
Aye.
But I didn't like the selling thing, and you always had targets to hit and all that. I hated all that because you almost felt like when you're under pressure, you act differently with clients. You're no natural. Whereas now I'm quite natural with my clients, and I go, "You wear an SPF? Are you wearing?" Do you know what I mean? And it's like they'll go out and get it because I'm not stopping.
You're not
a
pure
lot.
forcing it either. You're just like educating.
So
Also, I wonder if it's because, like, obviously injectables is like still big and like, but if you take care of your skin, they can go hand in hand instead of just solely relying on injectables, like having the kind of results driven like peels, microneedling, that type of thing as well for your face.
It's definitely, I don't know, like, I've not looked into a lot of injectable stuff or anything like that, but a lot of my friends that I used to work with now do these things, and I mean, they're glowing, their faces are glowing, do you know what I mean? I'm like, what am I doing? But I don't see myself branching into that yet. I'm quite happy what I'm doing. I'm all for like trying new things and progressing in my career, but I just think...
But I think there's having like a niche and then there's doing too much as well. Like,
I'm a wee one-man band.
You're a one-man band. You've not got time to do it now.
I've got 3 mates to
You've got this acupuncture bit kick off. You'll not have a minute. It's jumping.
Oh, God.
There's something I seen on your Insta and I was like, oh, what is this?
Oh,
did you have a makeup photo shoot with somebody?
Yes.
Pictures were stunning.
So my cousin, she's been featured in a few magazines and all that. So she's got her own salon in Paisley. She probably opened that in 2005. So she's been going for 20 years this year, actually.
What's it called?
Die for Love.
Where's that?
It used to just be called Sarah's. So it's on, see where, just off, it's Barscoop Terrace. So it's off the Hunter Hill Road. See as if you're getting into down for where I stay, down the Morrisons, just before the Morrisons, there's a wee row of shops over there.
Oh,
she's been there for 20
exactly
years.
Where you are.
Yeah, she's been there. So she, because she's had the salon for like 20 odd years, she was at uni for 5 years, about maybe 10 years ago, I think, maybe. She was at uni for 5 years to teach, and then she started working part-time in the colleges. So I think she's just like branching out and doing so much more. Like, she's very inventive with her hair. She's very creative. And I think like I've noticed that in the last 10 years where she's like right out there. Because I think when you've had a salon and it's just day in, day out clients, it does get a bit like you need to do something. So she was doing that. So she says to me, Ash, I've got this photo shoot. Do you want to come into the salon and do the makeup for it? So I was like, all right, okay. And it was totally out my comfort zone, right? But I'm very much an advocate and you need to push yourself out your comfort zone. Yeah. Even coming here the night, I was like, oh my God. You need to just do it. But so I went and we were working for a professional photographer as well. So I think Sarah works with him a lot now. And she did have other makeup artists, but she asked me to do that one. And I was so glad I did, because it was like, he would basically say to me, look, this is the look we're going for. We're very Vogue. We're wanting this kind of look. And I'm like, that. I've actually not done. And I can get quite creative with my makeup.
Aye.
But most people like me because I've kind of stick to the soft, natural look. Like, I don't, see, even when like you were painting on your brows and all that, I still never ever done that. I would just brush them on, and I always kept my makeup quite nice and natural. But so I was like that. I'm using bold colours. This is going to be exciting. But I was like, oh, for fuck's sake, get on. But it was actually lovely. I really enjoyed it.
It was amazing. That content is stunning.
I know. So I was quite glad. So she's got more coming up, but she does all the hair. So we were getting the models in, and she was doing the hair, and I was just trying to like get in and do the makeup. So we were just doing it in our salon, so it was quite good.
That's really cool.
I know.
You do all sorts.
I know.
I love it. I love it. And what I also want to touch on, how are you so positive? Let's tell the viewers tips on how to be so happy. This is literally what I've got written down, because you're so, like, your vibes are golden.
Oh, thank you, darling.
Do you do like loads of like manifestation, like?
So I discovered all this when I actually worked with my cousin back in 2008, 2009. She was into all this, like The Secret and all that, the Celestine Prophecy, all these books, right? And I was like, okay. So I read The Secret back then, but see, back then to what I read now, I was like, you're a totally different person.
Yeah.
And I was like, I took so much more for it. And I've just always believed, see the whole manifesting thing, right? I think when you say that word to people, they'll go, oh, for fuck's sake, there she's one of these, manifest this, man. And I'm like, but people, you're manifesting something every single day, whether it's good or bad. See, whatever you focus on, you're going to get it, regardless. And people don't realise that. They just live life in autopilot and they just get through life. You don't actually realise how powerful you actually are. And I know that sounds pure, like, witchy and all that, right? But I'm like, people don't realise how, like, powerful we can be. And I'd been saying last year, see, when I first opened the pod, right, I was like, oh, pure want my own podcast and all this, but one thing at a time, right? And because I feel like I do, a lot of my clients, see when they're in and all that, I mean, being a beauty therapist or a hairdresser, they always tell you stuff, right? So you feel like a wee therapist to them as well. And I always feel like I do actually give out good advice. And I honestly believe it's through doing, see, all the podcasts in the morning and that wee cleaning job. I learned so much for them as well, and I learned so much about myself. And I'd done a lot of healing. Like, I was actually walking the floors one morning, tears down, because she was actually, it was the Jill Ritchie podcast, She Loves Herself. So it was that one I was listening to. She was doing a live coaching with somebody, and it was all about a girl feeling stuck in her life, and it ended up, she went back and she was doing inner child healing work. So I was like, inner child. So I was envisioning my wee inner child, right? At a time that I felt maybe a bit traumatised. And I was just like, oh my God, she's in the wee room. She's in. I went up for my coffee that morning when I was in that job. And one of my friends was like to me, are you all right? And I was like, I've just listened to a fucking podcast. Like, oh my God, I was pure crying. Like, but I just believe now that, see, if something triggers you like that, like, I feel that you really need to feel it to heal it. Like, so if I'm feeling something, something's healing inside, like something's triggered me, and I was like, I couldn't actually believe how strong it was. Like, have you ever done inner child healing work before?
But I feel like probably should.
See that whole thing, I think you've done it as well, the take your wee self out for a coffee. Like that wee trending thing now. So it's like, take your younger self. That's a good example of kind of inner child healing, because it's like you're going to your younger self and you're telling her that everything's going to be okay and whatever. But when you're really into the inner child healing, it's go back to a time where you maybe just didn't feel happy or something happened when you were young or whatever. And it's just getting back. And if that's always stayed in you, because I feel that in our generation, you were always kind of just told to go on with shit. And you never knew how to actually deal with stuff. And I feel that now it's very much the awareness of this is like, it's everywhere now. Everybody's like, you need to feel things, you need to do this, emotions are okay, it's okay to cry and whatever. But yeah, I would say, back to your question, darling, why am I so positive? I feel like I've done a lot of work on myself. And I was quite unhappy as a wee girl. I was quite an unhappy wee girl, and I was always adamant that I'm not going to be like that when I'm older. And I always remember I was about 11 and we came into this, we'd started to meet my mum's cousins or something like that, and I don't know, there were 2 boys and a girl, right? And you know, for the age of 12, I said to myself, I want 2 boys and a girl when I'm older. I'm going to have 2 boys and a girl when I'm older. And I did. Like, that's what I mean. Shit is mental. Like, see, when you really focus on something. And I envisioned, see, when I was...
oh, God.
This is another thing, right? So I had my 2 boys, obviously. And then when I was pregnant with my 3rd, I was pure driving in my car. I was like, thank you for my daughter. I'm so happy I'm having a wee girl and all that. And my husband was obviously a bit like, and my sister and all that, they were like, I think my mum was obviously like, if she doesn't have a wee girl, like, and I was like, look, it'll be fine, right?
It's a wee girl, I know it.
It's a wee girl. So I had this plan, right? I just envisioned this. So we moved house, right? We moved in the November. So see, come getting Christmas and all that out of the way, see, in the January, I thought, we're going to have a housewarming. It's not going to be just any housewarming, Gemma. That was a surprise gender reveal. So I went on and I was like, I get this vision and I thought, I'm going to walk in, surprise Colin and everybody with a gender reveal.
So Colin wouldn't even know?
Colin didn't even know.
Right.
Okay. And I thought, do you know what? And then I was like that, I've got nobody to talk to about this, because I wasn't telling a soul, right? And I thought, how will he feel? Will this really upset him that I've went and found out without him? Or will he appreciate the whole surprise thing? So I really toyed with it and I thought, it's fine, because see, if it's a wee girl, it's just going to be, like, he's just going to be, like, he'll love it. So I booked in my 16-week scan now the 4D scan, the early gender scan, right? And I thought, so I booked that. I think it was the January, right at the start of the January. When was our party? It was like the 2nd or 3rd week in January, right? So I had 2 weeks to wait. I was like, so I knew.
So you knew?
I went and I found out.
Did you not even get the wee envelope?
No, I was like, I wanted to know. I needed to know, Gemma. I needed to know.
You needed to know.
So I went and when I found out, I was obviously myself, but see the woman, I told her my story, right? And she's like that, oh my God. She's like, yeah, well, it looks like a wee girl you're having. And I was like, shut up. Are you kidding me? I burst into tears.
Oh.
She came and hugged me because she was like, I've got 2 boys and then I had a wee girl, so I know how it feels. It's just that wee bit extra special. And I was like, oh my God.
Oh.
So I had all that planned out, but I pure envisioned this. I thought, this is what's happening. Like, there's no if, buts or maybes. This is what's happening. So obviously I went and done it. And when it was a wee girl, I thought, this is going to be so amazing. So ended up, I ordered a balloon and all that. And we ordered in food for everybody at the party. So ended up, I thought I've kept it to myself, right? And my sister came with me to get the food. And I was obviously, I said to her, by the way, we're not just going to get the food for everybody, we're going to pick up a gender reveal balloon. And she's like, what? So she was pure loving it. And see, 2 minutes before I get back to my house and I'm driving, I said something to her, right? And I was like, oh, such and such, she'll feel happy because it's all like kind of grandson she's had. And my sister was in the back of the car holding the balloon. And I just looked at her and I was like, and she's like, am I having a niece? And I was like, I cannot fucking believe that
you kept that secret for so long.
Oh, so yeah, I kind of slipped up. But I thought, I'm glad she kind of knew as well. But yes, so that was a powerful manifestation.
That was a massive
that
manifestation.
Yeah. But yeah, that's the thing. I'm a very strong believer in all that.
Yeah, that keeps you so positive.
I think when you look at people's lives as well, good or bad, it goes one or the other. Mm-hmm. And I use my wee mum as an example, God love her, right? But my mum's never been well, right? And she's kind of living with this, all these different conditions and stuff, right? But I think she's living with this story that she's never been well, so she always never been well. And I always think, Mum, what if you changed your story? Mm-hmm. Like, what if you just changed your story? Mm-hmm. She's like, oh, hen, for fuck's sake. Like, and I'm like that, but what if you woke up one day and just says, I'm healthy today, thank you for my healing, thank you for my health. And do you know, it's quite hard because she's nearly 60 and I think sometimes people are just wired and installed to think a certain way and there's just no change in them. But I just think, see, if you really want to, you can. You really can. Mm-hmm. So,
love that. How nice. Yeah. Right, we're coming to the end of the podcast.
Yeah.
So, you know the last question you've watched before. So, I want you to hype up a small business, a charity, or someone that deserves the spotlight. Tell me why.
I actually want to hype up the Accord Hospice. They're a charity. But all the nurses in there are honestly the work they do. And I've worked with so many different families and even hearing, like I was at the Key Store the other day and they got like, now when you raise money for them, they give you a recognition certificate and all that. So I was talking to one of the girls, she's like, oh my God. And the girl was nearly crying in the Key Store telling me how they cared for her mum and all that. And I just thought, you just don't realise how powerful they are. And I think they don't get enough recognition, the nurses. Like, you do see that, like, reposting that on their social media and stuff, but the work they do behind the doors in that inpatient unit and in the community. Mm-hmm. But the work that goes on in that inpatient unit is honestly, it's just out this world. So that is who I'm going to hype up tonight because they all deserve it.
They do deserve it, and you're totally right. They don't get enough recognition.
They don't.
So then people need to know how amazing they are. Thank you so much for coming on the pod.
Thank you for having me, darling. It was a great chat.
So if anybody is looking for any of Ashleigh's services, you get her on her Instagram, the Pamper Pod.
Yes.
On Instagram. And send her a message for anything, and the acupuncture thing. Sign up, by the way. Yeah. That'll definitely be cool. That sounds so cool. I am
looking for case studies, so I'm.
Brill. Yes. She needs people to practice. So she needs people to jag up more than her husband. But thank you so much, and
Thank
I'll
you,
see you
darling.
next time.
Yeah, bye.
Oh, that was